Hello, I'm Matthew from Ludovox, and we are in the Mindclash Games booth at the Essen Spiel 2017 with Richard. Hi.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Likewise, so we are there with one of your latest games, which is not out yet, so it's super exciting. It's a prototype, but a rather finished prototype. So this is Cerebria, the Inside World, the card game.
Exactly. Yes, this is the little brother of the big game, as we figured that this theme is something we really wanted to give to casual players as well, not just more experienced gamers.
So this game is for a casual audience, but for how many players and for around how many minutes?
It's 2 to 5 players, and each session should be played under or within 30 minutes. But there are turns, so basically a turn is like 10 minutes, so it's a very quick playing game, but you still have interesting decisions to make, so it's not like you're just dropping cards, because you always feel that you have meaningful decisions to make.
So what are we in this game and what do we try to achieve?
So unlike in the big game, where you're playing in one person's mind, you're gonna be managing your own personality, so your own mindset with the emotions. Emotions are creatures in this game, so we imagined how guilt, for instance, would look like, or trust. So that's how you can start to think about yourself and how your emotions are a little bit different than you did before.
So what's the goal of the game? How do we win the game?
So basically, there is a win condition if you if you have a built out enough personality. We have the bliss personality fragments and the gloomy ones. So just like in the big game, we have the gloom side and the bliss side, but you're not gonna be competing as the bliss side and the gloom side as in the big game. You're gonna have your own set of gloom and bliss emotions. And what you try to do is to build up a personality that is either balanced or blissy, or simply gloomy. So you either collect 5 of each or 8 of one of the colors. And you can change your strategy throughout the game. So if you just find up having a combination that's where there's lots of fragments, as this game plays about set collection, so you're going to be collecting emotions and trying to build up your mindset so you can score as many fragments as you can.
So what do we do in a turn? How do we collect the fragments?
So in this game we have 3 very important concepts to understand. One is the impulse, which consists of 3 piles of emotions. You can always draw the topmost card, so what you see here, and it will be refreshed all the time. The other important thing is your hand, which we call the feeling. So basically you are going to react to impulses with emotions. So you will decide which emotions you want to take into your feeling, and then you can decide which one of these emotions you want to keep for a longer period of time. So you'll use some of them to place in your mindset. So basically the 2 most important interactions in the game is taking an emotion from the impulse and placing it in your mindset. All the rest are not considered actions, as the emotions have a certain effect. But if you discard an emotions for their effect, that's not an action. So you can discard as many as you like, unless it's different. So you can't use the same effect twice in a turn. And you have 2 actions throughout your turn, and then you pass to the other player. So you can interact twice with the impulse by choosing an emotion to place in your feeling, or place 2 emotions in your mindset, starting to build your combination.
What do the powers do? What kind of things could they do?
Okay, so you can draw 2 cards by discarding a card like this. You can steal a card from another player. You can exchange 2 cards in any of the mindsets, so it doesn't have to be yours, but you can enhance your mindset with another player's emotion. You can destroy an emotion in someone else's mindset, or you can even interact with the mindset or the impulse, so you can start discarding cards from here or adding cards. It's very important, because a revelation, when we score the mindsets, triggers when one of the impulse decks runs out. So these are also very important. If you need to win time, then you will use the card which adds cards to some of the stacks. If you want to just rush out the revelation, so you score more points than the others, then you take the other one. And of course, you can always cancel an effect. And that's not in your turn, of course. So if someone uses an effect you want to cancel, you can react. They can also cancel your cancel, but you can never stack cancels, as there is the rule that you cannot play the same effect twice in a turn, right?
So how does the game scoring happens? How do we get those? So as soon as one pile is empty, we score points according to our collections, right?
Exactly. That's what happens, and then we refill the impulse, and we start a new turn. And once a player matches the win conditions I mentioned earlier, the game ends. If there are multiple players who match the win condition, then the total number of fragments count. And there is the so-called mood marker, which sometimes will decide what kind of fragments you will get. As you see, your combination is worth fragments, and it's always the type of card that tells you which kind of fragment you will get. So these are gloomy emotions. You will gain blue fragments. The blissy ones will give you red ones. But some of the combinations are worth more points than the sum of the cards in your combination. So the mood will tell you what kind of extra fragment you will get. And in the end, if there is a tie for the fragments, the mood will tell which player will win by telling which fragments should the winner player have more of.
So when is this game going to come out? Because this is a prototype, we've mentioned it. Is it going to hit Kickstarter or is it going to hit stores?
So we already done with the Kickstarter for Cerebria, and we didn't want to make a separate Kickstarter for this game, but we're manufacturing it with the big game simultaneously. So this game will be out with Cerebria, the Inside World, in summer 2018.
Do you think it will be translated into French and distributed in French stores?
It might be, yes. So there are partners already who are interested in the game. So yes, I believe this game would benefit from a French version, definitely, because people would understand what the feelings actually are in their own language.
Okay, thank you very much, Richard, for that overview of Cerebria, the Inside World, the card game, and let's see you on the Vox. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.